Bam, bam, bam. Yo. Yo, yo, yo. Let me test the chat. Test 1. Test 2. Perfect. It looks like it's showing up on all screens. Wonderful. Perfect. Yo. Right, hopefully the music isn't too loud. Bam, 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 bam. Right, let's get moving on to viewer comments. I think I've only got one comment today because I've actually been keeping up on top of all of my comments as and when they're coming in, which is very unlike me. Very unlike me indeed. Da, 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 da. Right, just getting all my screens ready. Everything looks fine. Wow, wow. All right. And I'm all done. Bloop. One singular comment, which is very rare for me because I'm so far behind on all of my responses. I normally wait and gather them all up over the week and just do them all today, the Monday afternoon, Monday evening even. Because I'm too lazy and I'm not really on my phone that much. I literally upload a video, go live on a Monday, and then that's it. I'll call it a day. And this seems to be quite an easy one to answer. First time watching your videos, this is a really sick idea. I think it was good. I'm glad that the video is still doing well, as it's got a lot of traction as of late. People seem to still be reading it, watching it, obviously find it entertaining. I wish I could redo it again though, make it shorter, make it more entertaining. But maybe if I do another one, I'll do just that. Although I don't know if I'll ever do something as grand as a 3-day manga shopping trip, which is a bit much, to be honest. A lot of money, a lot of energy was needed. And the amount of money that I spent is nothing in comparison. The amount of money I spent on manga is nothing in comparison to how much I spent on the overall trip. I spent like 20% of my money on manga. Everything else was on travel and food. Mainly travel. The trains were very expensive. Thanks, dude. I'll maybe do something like this again in the distant future. Well, I'm glad they enjoyed. And that's it. I think I'm all set. No more comments. And the video's been doing really well. Still. It had a slow increase. The first week, I would say, maybe even the first month. First month was probably the best it had done at the time for most of my videos. As you can see, the grey line here is my average. So in the space, when did I upload this? April 25th. And a month later, 2 months later, it hit 5,000 views, which was crazy. But it's still on the rise and it's going even higher and even higher. I've just changed the thumbnail as well. I don't know if that will make any difference, to be honest. But it's a constant flow. It's funny. Every Sunday, Saturday and Sunday seem to be the days where most of my subscribers watch my videos because I get loads of new subs and views and comments over the weekend. But the retention rate is pretty good as well at 40. If Mr. Beast is anything to go by, the biggest YouTuber on the platform, 60 is amazing and 40 is nothing to grumble at. Well, it's just under 40. But the more people that view it, more people will click off and eventually it's going to go down. Born! What up? How's it going? How was your weekend? But so far, I've been enjoying this. I try not to look at the stats too much. I just try, the main thing I try and look at is the viewer retention. So the Boogie Snacks video have pretty poor retention, just below average from what I normally get. But in comparison to previous videos, it's actually got a lot more traction than mostly everything else. Everything in the purple is in the grey is my average. But this line here is like, definitely double. But that's just how my videos go. They seem to be like really good video, and then an average video, really good, average, really good in viewership, average, really good, and then average, average, average. Man, I went for a time where none of them were bangers. Yeah, I don't think I'll ever get anywhere near this kind of level again. Not anytime soon, anyway. Weekend was good. Finally signed up for Mal. I'm surprised when people say that they don't have a Mal account or some sort of like anime list. So how was you? Did you have anything in place before you signed up to Mal over the weekend? Some people take Mal to the extreme. They'll do reviews on everything that they've read, everything that they've watched. They properly critique everything. Yeah, you should. It'll be fun. What kind of content would you make? Manga content or something completely different? I use my my anime list just to log the anime. Or at the time, it was just the anime. I started to do the manga, but I kind of dropped off because I wasn't reading as much, so I didn't bother updating everything. Even if I read like on a weekly basis, like One Piece and Naruto at the time, I didn't bother updating it. But I only really use it for anime. But I like it because I put the date that I started watching it and then the date that I finished. So it's quite interesting to look back at some series that I've started 10, 15 years ago and still not finished because I've stopped halfway or they're still ongoing, like One Piece. Yeah, I think it's interesting. I'm not a big fan of the whole elitism though. I kind of just put everything as a 7, basically. Anything lower than a 7 is just okay. But 7 seems to be like my happy medium. You kept track of your anime on IMDb? I didn't know you could do something like that. Can you have, I presume you can have a IMDb account. You can sign in, and I presume you can then just favorite and comment under series, etc. Yeah, Mal has a large selection of anime. They do stuff that's not always legal to watch as well in America or outside of Japan. But yeah, welcome to Mal, I guess. I hope you maintain it. I've introduced so many friends to Mal and they love it initially because they can categorize everything, and then they use it for a month and then they just drop off. I wish Mal had a app. I think they do have an app, but I don't think it's updated often. I was just looking at my phone to check. There's a third-party app for Mal, which doesn't really work. It takes code from the back end, and sometimes Mal will do a update on their site, so a third-party app will then go down for like a few days. It's okay. It's not great. Manga and comic content. I'm a big fan of like the analysis videos and like the hyper analytical parts of a series as to like why certain characters are interesting, why certain characters feel boring. I enjoy those videos because it's something that I can't contextualize, I can't verbally express the reason why I like certain things. So kind of experiencing my enjoyment through a third party is probably something I'd be interested in. If that's something you want to do, I would definitely watch. What computer do you have? Do you have a Mac? Do you have a PC? Or do you just have like a tablet? The site is littered with ads. Yeah, it's not great. I mean, the app that I use doesn't have anything like that, but it crashes quite often. Yeah, that sounds interesting. You should go ahead and do it. How lost do you feel not reading Weekly Shonen Jump this week? I know you probably don't read everything, and I know you said you're not reading Chainsaw Man weekly, although Chainsaw Man was off last week as well. But yeah, my Sunday afternoon, I didn't know what to do with myself. I really wanted to read What Happens with One Piece, but I don't think that's going to be happening anytime soon. Yeah, I did take a look at some of your AMVs. Well, hopefully, there's a lot of free software online. Like you can edit through websites. You can upload your videos directly onto an account online, and it stores everything. It doesn't have the greatest tools, but like a lot of editing. But if you just want to do A-roll, which is effectively you talking to the camera, and then B-roll, any like, I don't know, images or videos that you want to play over the top, cut and paste, that kind of thing, just chop up the segments, then they're perfect. What was the one that I used to use? Is it? No, DeviantArt is a completely different website. There's a couple that I've used in the past that were free, that were quite good. There's also a paid option as well. They offer more tools, but most of the time, if you just want to get started, just do a free one. A bunch of volume ones for $1. I haven't checked out the Kodansha app. What's the one that everyone's is the Kodansha app the one that everyone's moaning about, or was it the Square Enix one? I don't think I have access to their online library. Not a large selection of it anyway. I think it's mostly an American thing. Yeah, I can't view anything. Did you pick up anything good? Right. So I do have a single thing to unbox today, but before I do that, I just want to go over a couple of anime things. I say anime things, manga things. Now, there was this box set that came out over, I think it was a couple of days ago or a week ago, and it was the Chainsaw Man Books A Million exclusive box set, which just houses the first 4 volumes, which a lot of people were really upset about. At 11 volumes at the current serialization, there's only 11 volumes in physical form. You'd think that they'd just do what was it, France did with this beautiful 11 volume box set. It looks crazy. If I was to design a Chainsaw Man box, this probably wouldn't have been it. This is absolutely beautiful. I think the colors are slightly different as well, because it's as are black, but the text is all different. The only thing that we have that is color are the numbers. The numbers are all white, but they have like different colored backgrounds, which is interesting. But yeah, this is kind of sucky. It's only the first 4 volumes at $40. It's $10 a volume, which is a bit ridiculous. If you ask me, you might as well just buy them singly. Some sites will even give you 3 for 2, or just cheaper if you buy on Amazon. But it means if they do a second box set, you'll get potentially a further 4, and then the last box set would have to only be 3. Second box set will take you up to volume 8, and then there's only 3 volumes after that, which is kind of sucky. I don't really know how I feel about it. I won't collect it. But the box itself looks kind of sucky. To be fair, this is probably what I would make. Something like this. This is beautiful though. I would love this. That was it, yeah, the Square Enix app. That was the one. They did a lot of censorship, didn't they? I heard the UI wasn't great either, like the interface and everything. Like the experience of just reading wasn't great. That was my understanding anyway. I think the music's a bit loud. Wait, Kodansha own Bookwalker as well? I didn't know that. Yeah, I read Signs of Affection last week. I read the first volume, which is really interesting. I really liked it. This month, I am exclusively reading shoujo, romance, and josei series. One, because Nisekoi is 25 volumes, and at the moment, this year, I've been able to read 1 volume a day. So I knew that Nisekoi was going to take up most of my time. I've got Imakoi, which is a shoujo. I've also got a couple of other shoujo series that I've just picked up. And yeah, Signs of Affection was one of the first ones that I picked up. I thought it was really cute. It's interesting to see the dynamic, the difference between shoujo romance and then shonen romance. The way the girls talk a lot more as if written by a man, which most of them tend to be. Not to say that men can't write good female characters, just sometimes they're a little bit flat. Oh, they don't own Bookwalker. But a sale's a sale, that's the main thing. What is Peerless Wren? Well, this looks cute. What is it? Is it shoujo? It is a shoujo. You love shoujo since more time spent with the characters in a relationship versus getting there at the end and then the series ends. Yeah, I think it's the last few shoujo and josei series that I've read. The relationships form relatively quickly within either the first chapter or like quite early on. And yeah, it's just nice to kind of watch them grow together. What did I read a little while ago? Sweat and Soap. It's a little bit raunchy at sometimes, but the relationship itself is really healthy and it's quite relatable. The female is very new to having a boyfriend, so it's quite cute. Archangel, how's it going? How's the guitar practice going? Have you set up your Gundam stream yet? After the stream last week, I looked up a few Gunpla, a couple of kits, and it's hard. There's so many. I never know which. I would never know which one to pick. Kind of like having a tattoo, except from a tattoo is permanent. But I guess you could always give the kit back once you've built it, or sell it, or whatever. But yeah, there's so many. I feel like I'd be disappointed with whatever I'd picked. But yeah, this Chainsaw Man volume box set, I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, I don't really care, to be honest, because I've got my copies, but it kind of sucks that there's not one big box set. I would have probably purchased it if there was one big box set like this. Would have been nice, but oh well. You're prepping the Gundam stream? Good. I'm glad. Now just quickly, let me... So on top of... Can I... So other than this... There we go. The other thing I want to look at is this. These are the sales for... Hang on a second. Let me get... There you are. Bloop. These are the UK sales. Not UK sales. These are the American sales from a couple of weeks ago now. One Piece Volume 100 dropped. I'd be very interested to find out what the initial print run is for One Piece, because it seems that they're not reprinting a lot of the middle of One Piece volumes. Like a lot of volumes, say 20, I'd say volumes 30 to like 80, they're not, they don't seem to be reprinting those at all. People are constantly trying to look for the singles for them and they're nowhere to be found. But they're constantly releasing the first like 10, 20 volumes up to Alabasta. What grade difficulty did... Oh, I haven't purchased one yet. I didn't realize there were grade difficulties. What is it? 1 to 5? 1 to 10? But yeah, nearly 14,000 copies in 5 days is really impressive. I'm really sad that we haven't got a special edition for Volume 100. I know France had a special edition for One Piece. It came in like a nice little box. One Piece Volume 100 Special Edition. Is this the... I think this is the Japanese one. This would have been sick. I would have loved to own something like this. Considering it's the first physical Volume 100 outside that's been printed in English, you would think that they'd do something special, especially being Viz and One Piece, like the biggest series that they own. But no, we just got a standard book, which kind of sucks. And it's got all the characters, well, as they currently are in Wano. It's Oda, Buggy. Yeah, it kind of sucks. Well, they're the easy ones. I would like to go, I'd probably start off with something a little bit easy. And then, because I kind of grew up doing things like Lego, I went to the Cubs and Scouts when I was younger. I love making things with my hands. But I'd probably want to try maybe just an easy one. And then after that, I'd probably jump straight into something really difficult. But yeah, I just don't know which kind of, what kind of Gundam I'd want to make, because I don't really have a particular series that means a lot to me, if you know what I mean. I grew up with the original Gundam, not the original Gundam, but what was it? Gundam Age. I think it was Gundam Age. Was it Gundam Age? No, Gundam Age was the new one that I watched back in 2011, I think it was. Yeah, 2011. The Gundam Seed. I can't remember the name of the one that I grew up with, but yeah, I just don't know what particular Gundam I would get. So you went straight for the hardest one. Have you made any before? You just pick the one that looked cool. I mentioned last time that I would love to own a Metabee. That would be awesome. Let me see if I can Metabee kit. I don't think there is one. I'm trying to look. I can't find it. But yeah, this would have been nice to have something from One Piece. But alas, this is all we have. Just a standard volume. I'm also surprised that that Dragon Ball is selling so well as well. I just assumed every Dragon Ball fan was just reading it online or just watching the anime and wasn't interested in picking it up physically. I know the people that all my friends, they just watch it online. They don't bother reading picking up the physicals or anything. There aren't many wrong choices. Yeah, what is that? What happens if I buy one with like terrible colors? I think everyone goes for something similar. The most popular one that I've seen is anything that's standard white and then has the blue and red trim, like on the shoulders and on the mask. Although I did see a nice gray. I wouldn't like to go for anything that's all monochrome. Some guy that I follow online, he has one that's all grey. I think I'd go crazy. I'd have to do that one sitting, because if I ever stopped, I'd lose track. Because everything kind of looks the same when you look at it. It's still impressive. Have you got all the equipment that you need? Like all the pliers and tweezers and stuff? Yeah, that's true. And to be honest, that's what I thought most Dragon Ball fans were. They were just casual readers. So I'm actually surprised that this is nearly at 10,000 copies in 5 days. What's even more surprising that What's even more surprising is the Bleach 100th, the 20th anniversary, volume 1. I wasn't expecting that to be any good, to be honest. I think I just assumed it was going to be like a cash cow sort of thing, and then it would just flop. But it's not. It's selling pretty well, it looks like. I don't know if you saw this arc, but there was an announcement for is it Delicious and Dungeon? They're turning it into an anime, which is quite impressive. It's been on a few people's radars for an anime adaptation. I only found out about it, I think, a couple months ago, and I saw that you started reading it a little while ago. But people seem to be hyped for this. And what's the other series that everyone's getting excited about? Witch Hat Atelier. That as well. I'd like to see the key art for that. Tweezers, mini pliers. I'd be too scared to hold those. My hands are too big and clunky. I'd end up breaking the whole thing. Yeah, I don't really know anything about the manga, but it looks good. Oh, you haven't started it yet? I saw online that you picked it up. Does this work? Yeah, it does. And these are the sales for July, which is pretty impressive for Spy Family, but I think the anime really did help push the sales. It'll be interesting to see what the sales figures will be like. I would say this time next year, but I think season 2 starts in October and then probably finish in early January, late December. But yeah, I'd say in 12 months' time, it'll be interesting to see what the sales figures look like if people are still reading it. Because that tends to happen a lot. The anime pushes the sales, people get really invested, and then they get caught up and then they kind of fall off. I just hope that the story doesn't get extended too long because of its popularity. Hand nip is an X-Acto knife. Do you have to have like one of them mats as well? Like the plastic rubber mats that you would get in like design tech at school? Them green ones with all the white lines and everything. What about glue? Or does everything just like clip into place? In saying that, I mentioned about Spy Family and what it will be like in a year. Exactly in a year today, well not today, but this month, Tokyo Revengers either started or finished. And you can see the percentage has gone down a lot. It's still reaching around, I think, nearly 1 million a volume every time a new volume comes out. So this will probably, I reckon Spy Family will follow same suit as Tokyo Revengers. Although I've heard as of late, Tokyo Revengers hasn't been doing so well in the most recent chapters. Oh, you've got the mat already? That's good. Did you steal it? Did you steal it from school years ago? Everything just clips into place then. Maybe I'll have another look and go for an easy version. Out of all these, I think Kaiju number 8 surprises me the most. 500,000 copies in 1 month with only, I think at the time, 6 or 7 volumes being out in Japan and no anime. I hope this doubles in size come whenever it comes out. Probably sometime next year, I think. Yeah, things like Jujutsu Kaisen, all saying that. I was going to say a lot of shonen series have been dropping off, but My Hero seems to just keep going up and up and up and up. I think maybe because it's coming to an end. It feels like it's coming to an end anyway. Jujutsu Kaisen is on the fall as well. How is Haikyuu still going so well? Didn't it finish like 2-3 years ago? 2019 it finished, I'm sure. You ain't no thing. Are they expensive, the mats? This is also interesting, Chainsaw Man, that it's still selling volumes considering it finished. I think the last volume came out this time last year in Japan. I don't know if the resurgence of the series has brought it back to life. It's crazy how Japan keep a constant flow of manga volumes, yet we can't sustain, 50,000 copies. We have to go into a second reprint or just, months of hiatus of not printing anything. 1,275,000 copies. And that was in 4 days. That's crazy. It's interesting to see sales figures. What is this? One Piece A and B. Episode A. What is this? Oh, this is I don't know what the story is, but the art's done by Boichi. Or Boichi. What's Black Butler doing here? I thought Black Butler had finished. Clearly not. Right. Let me close down all of that. Dum 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 dum. Okie dokie. I have exactly 1 volume in the mail. 1 singular box to open. The only expensive part is the Gunpla itself. But how many manga volumes can you buy for 1 Gunpla? Yeah, it's ingrained into their just into their everyday life, isn't it? To pick up manga. Even basic salary men will constantly pick up the newest volumes of series. But just crazy how small they are in population compared to the Western English-speaking world. We just struggle to pick up everything. Right. Forgot to get everything into hand. So I actually picked this up a little while ago. This is Takahashi's final publication that he created. Let me. Bloop. This is a Secret Reverse. It's created by the mangaka of Yu-Gi-Oh, who passed away a little while ago. I pre-ordered this before he passed away. I pre-ordered, I think, 3 copies. No, I pre-ordered 1, and then when he passed away, I pre-ordered a couple more so I could give away to my friends because he just means so much. But I don't know if I'll read this anytime soon. But I'm not a big Marvel fan. I watch the movies and stuff, but I haven't been following Iron Man and Spider-Man and all them since ever. Never really followed them until the movies like 2 years ago. I think I started watching. But I mainly picked it up because it's Takahashi, and yeah, I'll probably still continue playing Yu-Gi-Oh. So to have something like this being his final work, is quite nice. Maybe I'll get it framed or something. But other than that, which I picked up a couple of weeks ago, I have one volume, which I think is... What did I do? What did I win on the marbles race the other day? It was To Your Eternity. Yes! So nothing too special. I have watched the anime for this, but the front cover is beautiful. I'm always interested to see, because I'm relatively new to manga to an extent. I mean, I've been buying loads of Shonen Jump for years, but when it comes to like the broader range of, I know this is shoujo, but when I watch a lot of seinen or shoujo, when you compare it to the anime, the manga, the art style is so much different. So I'm interested to see what this looks like and how this reads. The flow of the story is so much different in anime form, I find. Your dueling senses are tingling. I think the main antagonist in the comic also fights using cards. So that'll be quite interesting to read. I'll read it at some point. To be honest, I'm still a little bit fragile with him passing away. But yeah, I thought this was a seinen, but it's not. It's actually a shoujo. Shonen. I thought it was seinen, but it's not. The art looks very simple. There's not a lot of screen tone. I say that, and then it turns dark, and then there's loads of screen tone being used. But there's not a lot of screen tone used on the characters. When was this released? Does it say? Kodansha normally have it at the front. 6th printing. It doesn't say. 2017. 2017, so it's not too old. It's surprising they don't use a lot of screen tone. Either way, I'm interested to pick up this one. I probably will read the first volume and then purchase the next few at a later date, but not anytime soon. Because I am broke. I am almost fully up to date with my bookshelf. It can house around 700 volumes. And I'm breaching that very, very soon. I think I could probably fit a good 50 volumes in. So I need to pick up a new shelf soon. Otherwise, I'm just going to, I don't know, have everything on the floor like I do over here. I've got around 30 volumes in the corner down here. I have around 10 volumes on the floor over here. Another 20 volumes just here. They're taking over. You've had your eyes on To Your Eternity. It's a helicopter. I don't think the mic can pick that up though. You've had your eye on To Your Eternity for a while. Did you watch the anime? If you watch the anime, it probably takes up to, I would say, volume 8, with an average 12 episodes, taking you up to 4 volumes. So times 2, hopefully it's around 8. So it'll take you a good way into the story, but it's pretty good. I enjoyed it. I went in for some reason expecting it to be really action-packed, which it is to an extent. Certain parts really are, but the first few episodes are quite slow and calming and kind of sad. You really enjoyed A Silent Voice? Yeah, that was really good. Do I prefer the film or the book? I don't know. They're two different things, I feel. But yeah, Silent Voice was really nice. I'm currently reading, I mentioned earlier, A Sign of Affection, which is also about a deaf girl and a love interest. It's slightly different. It's a little bit more happy. But I only read the first volume, but it'll be interesting to see how they tackle the main character being deaf and the interactions that they'll go through. Yeah, I think her artwork is really, really impressive. I don't know, when did Silent Voice come out? I don't know where my volumes are. My shelves are 3 stacked, so you can stick 3 volumes in front of each other. So volumes that I've read and series that I've read kind of go to the back. And I think it's really far back, so it'll take me a while to check. Actually, saying that, I have the power of the internet. A Silent Voice. It came out in... That is the film, which I do not want. I want the manga. When did the manga come out? There we go. 2013 to 14. So not that far off. 3 years between Silent Voice and this. I'd be interested to see how it develops. The first, I think the anime takes up 3 or 4 arcs. The main character has like 4 huge encounters. But it'd be interesting to see how far it goes, because I haven't been spoiled or anything, but I heard the most recent arcs aren't too interesting. Alright, lastly, before I go, nothing too interesting, but I haven't been reading that much manga as of late. I've really calmed down since I hit 60% of my collection. I haven't been purchasing as much. I've been taking it easy with reading manga. I've been kind of, I wouldn't say I'm burnt out, but I've definitely been slowing down. Maybe because I'm anticipating to do a big binge of One Piece when it starts. You heard about it too? Yeah, there's like a time skip sort of thing. Apparently it's not as interesting. Maybe because it's more set in the modern day. Yeah, go for it. You should. I think you'll enjoy it. Heck, give it 4 episodes, 5 episodes, and if you don't enjoy it, then you know the book's not going to be for you either. Yeah, I've not been reading too much, but this month I've been trying to get through the last 2 series that I have in my collection, which is Nisekoi and Bakuman. So this month I'm going to try and finish Nisekoi. There's 25 volumes. It's an average, I would say, harem romance series. Definitely not just romance. I forget how much I dislike and like harem series. I would say the first 7 volumes that I read were quite interesting. The stakes kept going up and up and up. The main character likes one girl, and then a second girl gets introduced and he has to date her. He's forcibly dating her. And then he has this pendant, which he gave to a young girl when he was like 5 years old. And then we find out that girl A has a key that might go into the pendant, and then girl B has a key as well, which might go into the pendant. And then a third girl comes up, and then she has a key as well. And then a 4th person shows up, and it just keeps escalating. But since volume 8, everything's kind of plateaued. It's gone to like just a slice of life, everyday thing. Girl A's sister is now involved, and a couple of other girls are getting involved. And more characters are just getting added and added. Mainly female characters, obviously. But I don't think they're adding anything to the story. I don't know if it's because I think the anime came out around this time. I don't know if that was popular at the time, so maybe the sales were boosted, so they decided to continue the series. Kind of like how they've done with Marshall and probably Jujutsu Kaisen. But I'm now not invested because I'm enjoying it, but I'm invested to see how it ends and if it kind of sticks at this plateaued segment for a long period. I'm on volume 13 at the moment, and it's still just episodic, nonsensical events happening for no reason. Nothing's really been developed. They're kind of just going about their daily life. And that's the boring part about harem series. The interesting part is who's you going to pick and adding all these twists and turns, but nothing's been added. They're just adding new characters for the sake of it. But yeah, I read 5 volumes of that. I'm slowly getting through it. This month I'm going to read some more shoujo and other josei series, because mainly romance, because it's interesting to see the difference between the two. You couldn't get into Nisekoi, honestly? No, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Honestly, if it had finished in 10 volumes, I think it would have been good. But now it's just, yes, it's not great. It's just a generic harem series. If you've read or watched any harem anime or manga, you've kind of read them all. You're in it for the girls, you choose who your favorite is, and then that's it. But the characters in Isekoi aren't particularly interesting either. I guess maybe because they're all quite young. They're 15, 16, now going on 17. But they're not particularly interesting. All the girls kind of had their gimmick. There's the one that's just in love with the main character. There's one that's really tsundere. And then there's the love interest who's like pure and cute. And then there's the love interest sister who is also mean and aggressive. There's the shy character who's kind of tsundere, but she's more shy than the other one. And yeah, it's just the typical harem romance, shonen romance tropes that you get with every series. You read it like the author's fantasy? Yeah. I would say. Which isn't a bad thing. But yeah. It is a typical Shonen Jump. It's gone on for far too long, I think. 25 volumes. The last volume is super girthy. Most volumes, I think, have 9 chapters. This one has 11 or 12. And it's a lot bigger than I expected. What you need is a yandere. Then I don't think it could be published in Weekly Shonen Jump. But what you need then is probably something closer to, I don't know, Mirai Nikki, Future Diaries. Although that doesn't really have a lot of female characters in it. Not that I can remember. Yeah, yandere would spice things up, I would say. But yeah, it's interesting to read Nisekoi along with some other romance, josei and shoujo series that I'm reading at the moment. Because the difference in female characters is really interesting. In a lot of the shoujo stuff, the characters are very much similar in the sense that they're quite submissive to the male characters. To be fair, this is only 2 particular series that I'm reading. Not every single shoujo is like this. But the female characters are quite submissive to the male characters. But a lot of them speak their mind and their feelings, whilst in shonen romance they just keep everything bottled up, and it's all just coincidental situations that occur. But yeah, I'm slowly getting through everything. I think I'm at, what am I at? I'm currently at, I think 61, 62% of my collection. What's this? Oh, this is the Boogie Snacks manga collection tally. I'll keep that for another video. This is the one I want. Nearly 62% out of 700 volumes, just over 700 volumes. Imagine a harem where every love interest is a yandere. I'm sure there is one. Be some sort of like battle royale thing. That'd be great. I'd watch that. I don't know how long it would stay interesting for though. That's the thing. Yeah, 62%. I think if I finish Nisekoi, and then if I try and finish or make a big dent into Bakuman before September 21st, that'll probably take me up to... What is this? If I did... What am I on now? I've read 12, so if I read another 13 volumes plus 20... If I read another 23 volumes, that puts me at 5-7... If I need another 27 volumes, which is the rest of Nisekoi and Bakuman, that puts me at nearly 65% read-through rate. And I think One Piece it will be 100 volumes by the time I read it for the end of the year, which will take me up to 80%. So as long as I buy no more manga for the rest of the year, I'll reach 80%, which has been my goal since the beginning of the year. But I'll most likely purchase more going down the line and probably read more than just one volume a day. Alright, let me undo that. But yeah, Nisekoi is okay. I just hope it gets interesting in the next 13 volumes. I don't know if it will. Who knows? Bop, 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 bop. It is that time of the evening where we end the stream. It's always a quick one, it feels like. I don't really have a lot of video ideas going forward. A lot of people seem to like the Boogie Snacks video, so I might do another one. There's a couple of other manga tubers that I want to look at their collections, because it'll be interesting to see how much they are. "13 volumes is going to be a slug." Yeah, hopefully there's some sort of... To be fair, I don't know what will happen now. The main character is still oblivious to all of the girls that like him. The girl that he likes is still shying away from everything. And the girl that he's pretending to be with for family reasons has only just started to accept her feelings. So I don't know. 13 volumes of will they, won't they? We'll have to wait and see. Will it be worth it? Who knows? But yes, I'm ending the stream. It always feels like I stream for like 5 minutes when I talk to people online. Regardless if it's one person, 5 people, 10 people. It's always a good time. Archangel, thanks for sticking around for so long. I'm looking forward to more guitar riffs. Guitar plucking. And yeah, let us know when you set up the Gundam stream. Right. With all this manga that I've been catching up on, I'm starting to get a lot of free time, and I've started to look into loads of video games. I'm looking at some of the One Piece video games. There's one coming out, I think, later this year or next year. One came out last year. One Piece Odyssey is the new one. World Seeker, that's what came out last year. But as always, I always have a video to check out, so if you are watching, feel free to click it. It's just a recap of what I did last stream with the marble races. If you've watched already, you don't have to click it. Don't worry about it. But if you do, I very much appreciate it if you could just give it a like and maybe watch it all the way through. You don't have to watch it really. Just click on it, walk away. And yeah, I will most likely still keep streaming every Monday, but I'm not too sure if I'm going to have a video going forward. Manga content's hard. And I'm not good at reviews, so I don't think I'll do any of those. But anyways, I'm out. Thanks for chilling. Thanks for watching. And I will see you all next time.